Hey guys, welcome back to the Kool-Aid Podcast. Welcome back to another video, another Barcelona news roundup. But guys, before we get started on today's topics and we talk about Joao Felix, Lewandowski, and as well as some potential signings next summer, make sure to follow us on all of our social media platforms. Everything's at Kool-Aid Podcast. We're on TikTok, on Instagram, and on Twitter as well. We're on Apple Podcast, Spotify, everywhere. Make sure to go check us out. But guys, let's get straight into the news and let's talk about Joao Felix because Joao Felix has rejected the number 10 shirt. The number 10 shirt has not been vacant for so many years. Um, and it's finally going to be vacant with the absence of Ansu Fati to Brighton. So let's get straight into it. Neither did Joao Felix want to wear the number 10 at Barcelona despite it being vacant, nor did the club offer it to him. Felix knew the weight of the number 10 shirt and wanted a less media friendly number to stay away from the spotlight. I think that's a fantastic idea. If the spotlight falls on him, he wants it to be for footballing reasons. Also, taking Ansu Fati's number 10 would have added fuel to the fire that Jorge Mendes pushed Fati out to bring in Felix. Moreover, it is currently unknown what will happen next season and whether Felix will stay at Barca beyond June 2024. Barca, as a club, also considered that the most ideal thing was to keep the number 10 shirt vacant this season. And this is reported by Juan Marti, a Spanish journalist for Sport. This is a fantastic move by both the club and Joao Felix. As this tweet said, you don't want to invite unwanted pressure and just make it harder for yourself to succeed at Barcelona. You already have enough people, myself included, already having like doubting your abilities. So you putting on that number 10 shirt and being put into the spotlight, knowing what that shirt represents, it's not a good idea whatsoever. And later onto the tweet, it talks about like, hey, we don't know what's going to happen next season. If Joao Felix, for example, does well, he would keep that number 10 shirt. But then what happens when Ansu Fati comes back? What happens if he also has a good season? Who's going to have the number 10 shirt then? And what happens if he doesn't? What happens if Joao Felix has a terrible season with that number 10? It would just make it even worse for him. And that's not a situation neither the club nor the player want. And so it's a fantastic move that no one is going to be occupying that number 10 shirt. And honestly, no one should occupy the number 10 shirt until they're ready. We don't want to put unwanted pressure on any specific player. But guys, let's move on to our next piece of topic. We're going to be talking about Lewandowski. I did mention this before in one of my news videos. Saudi Arabia will try to sign Robert Lewandowski in January. This is reported by Esport 3, a Catalonian radio show. And there was some interest in Lewandowski previously in the summer from Saudi. Just however, Barcelona weren't going to let him go because he is our main striker. But looking at how Lewandowski has started this season, would the option of Lewandowski heading to Saudi Arabia be viable? Because we do have to remember that he does have a contract and he can extend, but I don't know if either the club or the player would want that because Lewandowski's form has not been up to standard so far. He's had a tough start to the season, and if this continues, I don't see how Barcelona don't try to listen to offers or try to offload him in the summer. But I want to know your guys' thoughts on Lewandowski. Would you guys want to let go of Robert Lewandowski in January, knowing also that Vitor Roque is going to be coming in January as well to basically learn under Robert Lewandowski. But once again, I don't know if it's too early to just put on the pressure of being the starting striker for Barcelona on basically a young and talented player like Vito. But talking about that, talking about Robert Lewandowski, we're not going to be talking about some potential signings that Barcelona can make in the summer, and this is why we're looking into the free market, in the free agents. And this is a report by Sport. Thomas Mueller, Alvaro Romata, and Jorginho, as well as Guido Rodriguez, are among the players FC Barcelona are monitoring for next summer as free agents. And this is reported by Sport. Now, I'm going to give my thoughts on each specific player. And, and the funny is, is actually Thomas Mueller, because guys, we all know how much like of a troll Thomas Mueller is, and the relationship that he has with Bayern. And so Thomas Mueller joining Barcelona, that's just going to be absolutely crazy. But let's talk about Jorginho first. Jorginho is a player who is very technical. His on the ball skills is fantastic. Just I when I look at Jorginho, I see him as a B tier Busquets, as a basically a downgraded Busquets. I don't. He's 31 years of age. He's playing for Arsenal. He isn't like a key player for Arsenal. Yes, he plays at times, but if I was Barcelona, I don't think that he has the capabilities to play in that DM role, because if we do sign him, he would be coming in to basically replace Order in certain games. And Order is of completely different characteristics than Jorginho. I don't think it's smart for Barcelona to look for Busquets replacement unless like a super talented and a super young pivot is available. I don't think Jorginho is the right option. And when we talk about Alvaro Morata, he could be a replacement for Robert Lewandowski if we do decide to let him go in January. He would be coming. All these players will be coming in as a free agent. I don't think that we would be paying super high wages for Alvaro Morata. Just however, his finishing is very very poor, guys. And it'd be so funny because if Alvaro Morata does come to the club, he'd be basically touring all across Spain. He's played for Real Madrid, he's played for Atletico Madrid, and if he could be played for Barcelona, that's gonna be funny. And as well, he's played for Juventus. Um, and so it's going to be funny to see that play out. Just if I'm in favor of Morata coming, just if he's not our starting striker. If he is, as long as he's not our starting striker, I'm perfectly fine with keeping Morata. And now talking about Guido Rodriguez, I think this move makes the most sense out of all four, because Guido Rodriguez is the youngest, as well as he's the player that we do need in the club. He is the only natural pivot in this position, and he does have very similar characteristics of Romeo. He's good on the ball, but his main virtue is recovering, recovering, defending, and I think that type of role right now is perfect for the club. It's perfect for the team, because you have players such as Frankie De Jong, Gundogan, Pedri, who are very technical good players, but you don't want these guys to defend and be running across the pitch. You want them to be in a more creative role. And so Guido Rodriguez, if you bring him on a free, manageable wages, I think he would be a fantastic signing. And also to mention, guys, obviously, since I'm Argentine, he's a World Cup champion, and so I do see him in a favorable light. But now we're talking about Thomas Mueller, and this one is as much as I think Thomas Mueller is a great player. He is 33. If he does become, he would want a little bit higher wages, and that relationship between us and Thomas Müller, especially since he's a Bayern player, I don't know if that would be a great idea. And then on top of that, he'll be coming in as a cam. He would want to be playing as like a secondary striker role. He would fit in perfectly with Lewandowski. Just I don't know why Barcelona would try to go for a player like Thomas Müller, who is on the wrong side of 30. Um, but if, for example, Barcelona, they don't want to send a pivot, or they don't want to bring in those potential free agents, you have Christensen, who can replace Romeo in the pivot role. This is a report by Martinez Ferran, a Spanish journalist for Mundo Deportivo. Andres Christensen can be an option as a pivot in place of Romeo for some reason. In case Romeo can't play the specific amount of games, you can always put in Andres Christensen. And this is something that Xavi has tried with Eric Garcia, but he has gone off to Girona. We wish him the best of luck, actually. But guys, that was it for our Barcelona news roundup of the day. What do you guys make of Joao Felix's decision and as well as the clubs to not give out the number 10 jersey, to basically have it vacant for the season? And what do you guys make of the potential rumors of Lewandowski heading to Saudi Arabia? And lastly, guys, what do you guys make of those potential signings that can be coming into the club next summer? But as always, guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, and comment. I'll see you guys all in the next video. Peace out.